by Banjo Paterson. By Banjo Paterson. By Banjo Paterson. Most people think that the cat is an unintelligent animal, fond of ease and caring little for anything but mice and milk. But a cat has really more character than most human beings and gets a great deal more satisfaction out of life. Of all the animal kingdom, the cat has the most many-sided character. He or she is an athlete, a musician, an acrobat, a Lothario, a grim fighter, a sport of the first water. All day long, the cat loafs about the house, takes things easy, sleeps by the fire, and allows himself to be pestered by the attentions of our womenfolk and annoyed by our children. To pass the time away, he sometimes watches a mouse hole for an hour or two, just to keep himself from dying of ennui. And people get the idea that this sort of thing is all that life holds for the cat. But watch him as the shades of evening fall, and you see the cat as he really is. When the family sits down to tea, the cat usually puts in an appearance to get his share, and purrs noisily, and rubs himself against the legs of the family, and all the time he is thinking of a fight or a love affair that is coming off that evening. If there is a guest at the table, the cat is particularly civil to him, because the guest is likely to have the best of what is going. Sometimes, instead of recognizing this civility with something to eat, the guest stoops down and strokes the cat and says, "Poor pussy, poor pussy." The cat soon tires of that. He puts up his claw and quietly but firmly rakes the guest in the leg. "Ow!" says the guest. "The cat stuck his claws into me." The delighted family remarks, "Isn't it sweet of him? Isn't he intelligent? He wants you to give him something to eat." The guest dares not do what he would like to do, kick the cat through the window, so with tears of rage and pain in his eyes, he affects to be very much amused and sorts out a bit of fish from his plate and hands it down. The cat gingerly receives it with a look in his eyes that says, "Another time, my friend, you won't be so dull of comprehension," and purrs maliciously as he retires to a safe distance from the guest's boot before eating it. A cat isn't a fool, not by a long way. When the family has finished tea and gathers round the fire to enjoy the hours of indigestion, the cat slouches casually out of the room and disappears. Life, true life, now begins for him. He saunters down his backyard, springs to the top of the fence with one easy bound, drops lightly down on the other side, trots across the right-of-way to a vacant allotment, and skips to the roof of an empty shed. As he goes, he throws off the effeminacy of civilization. His gait becomes lithe and panther-like. He looks quickly and keenly from side to side and moves noiselessly, for he has so many enemies dogs, cabmen with whips, and small boys with stones. Arriving on the top of the shed, the cat arches his back, rakes his claws once or twice through the soft bark of the old roof, wheels round, and stretches himself a few times, just to see that every muscle is in full working order. Then, dropping his head nearly to his paws, he sends across a league of backyards his call to his kindred, a call to love or war or sport. Before long they come, gliding, graceful shadows, approaching circuitously and halting occasionally to reconnoitre, tortoiseshell, tabby, and black, all domestic cats, but all transformed for the nonce in their natural state. No longer are they the hypocritical, meek creatures who an hour ago were cadging for fish and milk. They are now ruffling, swaggering blades with a Gascon sense of dignity. Their fights are grim and determined, and a cat will be clawed to ribbons before he will yield. Even young lady cats have this inestimable superiority over human beings that they can work off jealousy, hatred, and malice in a sprawling, yelling combat on a flat roof. All cats fight, and all keep themselves more or less in training while they are young. Your cat may be the acknowledged lightweight champion of his district, a Griffo of the feline ring. Just think how much more he gets out of his life than you do out of yours. What a hurricane of fighting and lovemaking his life is. And blush for yourself. You have had one little love affair, and you never had a good all-out fight in your life. And the sport they have too. As they get older and retire from the ring, they go in for sport more systematically. The suburban backyards that are to us but dullness indescribable are to them hunting grounds and trysting places where they may have had more gallant adventure than ever had King Arthur's knights or Robin Hood's merry men. Grimalkin decides to kill a canary in a neighboring veranda. Consider the fascination of it, the stealthy reconnaissance from the top of the fence, the care to avoid waking the house dog, the noiseless approach, and the hurried dash, and the fierce clawing at the fluttering bird till its mangled body is dragged through the bars of the cage. The exultant retreat with the spoil, the growling over the feast that follows. Not the least entertaining part of it is the demure satisfaction of arriving home in time for breakfast and hearing the house mistress say, "Tom must be sick. He seems to have no appetite." It is always leveled as a reproach against cats that they are more fond of their home than of the people in it. Naturally, the cat doesn't like to leave his country, the land where all his friends are, and where he knows every landmark. Exiled in a strange land, he would have to learn a new geography, to exploit another tribe of dogs, to fight and make love to an entirely new nation of cats. Life isn't long enough for that sort of thing. So when the family moves, the cat, if allowed, will stay at the old house and attach himself to the new tenants. He will give them the privilege of boarding him while he enjoys life in his own way. He's not going to sacrifice his whole career for the doubtful reward which fidelity to his old master or mistress might bring.
Sit. 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 Sit.
Nathan?
Shawnee?
Nathan Noble, can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm at the door.
You're live on 1015 KFGM.
Let me in.
You want to come inside?
Yes, please. Do I have your consent?
I suppose.
Thanks,
All right.
buddy.
Okay. I'll see you soon.
All right.
Sweet dreams.
Appreciate that.
Good night.
Good night.
Sit. 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 Sit.
Ain't got nothing.
Sit.
Ain't got nothing.
Sit.
Ain't got nothing.
Sit.
Ain't got nothing.
Sit. Sit.
Ain't got nothing.
Sit.
Ain't got nothing. We're joined in the studio tonight by Nathan Noble. How are you doing, Nathan?
I'm doing great. Thanks for asking, Sean.
Well, it's just what people do.
You didn't mean it?
No, I'm genuinely curious how you're doing.
No, I feel good.
You do?
Yeah, I feel very optimistic. Did you smell that rain outside?
No, I didn't get a whiff of it when I was letting you in.
Well,
I'm glad it's raining. This was the smokiest day in the history of the universe.
exactly. It was incredibly smoky today, and the rain, just the way that it's cutting. It's not raining really hard right now, but it's big droplets. I'm not sure the science behind that, but you can just tell when it hits the ground that it has so much ash or just carbon in it, and it's making this incredible smell outside.
I'm into that.
Yeah.
I try to find the silver linings in life, you know? That's a unique smell.
Yes, I know. I know smoky air sucks, but it's, I think people don't understand about fires is we need fires. We are paying for a past of bad fire management, and you want fires healthy for your ecosystem. I know it sucks to have a fire next to your home, next to your town, next to so many things, but we need fire. We've got a lot to burn right now. The forests are going through a lot of strange things with, I don't want to say, the CC word, but climate change.
You can say it.
We have a lot of carbon copy. No, it's climate change. We have a lot of very young trees coming up as we're losing our old growth forests. Too many of them, and they're sapping energy from the old growth forests we have, and it's just making a lot of fuel, basically.
Yeah.
And we gotta let stuff burn.
So that's why you started these fires.
I didn't. I don't have a job in firefighting, so I have no financial gain for that.
Oh, right. Oh, okay. I see what you're saying. Because you do control the weather.
John,
But but that doesn't. Forest fires is different than the weather. I guess so. But when it's this smoky, it's just like.
Is there weather?
Yeah, it must have been
no
Nathan. I don't know. Sorry about that. That's my bad. I was confused.
Oh, you're not the only one.
Yeah, I'm sure your phone's getting blown up today. We're just like, what's the deal with this smoke?
Yeah. It doesn't feel that great to be out there when it's smoky. I empathize with people who've got respiratory problems. We'll say that.
Yeah, we're just lucky to be as healthy as we are.
Yeah.
In this day and age.
Yeah.
We're middle-aged.
Is that true?
I don't know.
When does that hit?
I don't know, but I just turned 35, and then I was filling out this form, and I just put my age, but in brackets.
Oh, you were in a new box.
Yeah, it was like 20 to 34, or are you 35 to 49 or something, So I was just like...
Oh, they slapped you with the extra 4.
Yeah.
Okay. Wow. Yeah, it's
a weird feeling.
Yeah.
What keeps you going every day? Why do you keep living?
Experience.
Oh man.
I just want to keep experiencing. Sometimes if I have a little, mini anxiety attack, a lot of times it's over not experience enough things. Like life's this finite journey, allegedly.
Yeah.
That all the
as far as we know, yeah.
Yeah. But I'm very open to more than that. But it makes me a little anxious. I just want to keep experiencing things. I get up in the morning. I'm like, let's do something new, baby. Come on.
So there's some curiosity to it.
I love being curious.
So you're like a cat in some ways.
I feel like a cat often.
Yeah.
Often, yeah.
What other ways are you cat-like?
Well, I like going in the woods alone.
That's true.
Slinking around and
You do slink.
Yeah, I like to slink around. And I also can just, chill in a sunbeam all morning, get all cuddly.
Yeah.
That's good.
That's nice.
Yeah, I like that. I got a range of emotions of a cat, I feel like.
You kind of do.
Temperament, maybe.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm driven by curiosity too.
You're so curious, Sean.
You're picking up on that?
Yeah,
You can
and
tell?
also I've heard you give other people a compliment of being curious too. And when another curious person gives you a compliment of being curious, it's
I was rather curious.
Well, it's sweet.
Aww. Well, it's just I just like to see what's gonna happen next. There's a lot of cliffhangers in this crazy thing we call life.
These dang old cliffs. I know.
Yeah. How long do you think you could just hang off of a cliff? Like if you had like a good handhold, but you're just hanging.
I think it depends. If I'm getting a little bit of hope, like if Arnold Schwarzenegger or Steven Seagal is like reaching down for me, I'm going to get an extra 10 seconds in there. But
yeah,
it's kind of maybe not as big in the U.S., but a lot of people like to just hang. They get in the morning.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it can be with the boys, but I'm saying they got a spot where they can put their hands, jump, so their feet aren't touching the ground, and they like to hang, and they hang every morning. It's a big thing around the world, actually.
I wish that I had a hang situation in my house. I would love to hang.
Yeah.
I can't even do that many pull-ups anymore, but just a good hang.
Oh, if you hang enough, you'll be able to do pull-ups.
Dang.
And
so hanging
people
leads
measure their vitality in their hang.
Like how long they can hang?
Yeah, and they're like, I'm healthy because I hung for over a minute. And you'd be surprised. Like, some of those movies, I don't want to...
It's a common trope in the action movie.
I know,
the person's hanging, and then someone else, this is even crazier, someone else reaches down and just, like, pulls them up from the cliff. I don't think I could do that either.
Oh, I think you could.
You think so? I guess it depends on the person.
Yeah, and, like, maybe you got a grip on, like, a tree or something,
Yeah, but even then, I just don't know if I'm strong enough to, like, lift a human being.
I think
from lower than my body. You
get that new baby mama strength.
Yeah,
lift that car.
Like I've heard.
Your arm would turn into Popeye's arm, and you just would.
Yeah.
Love would surge through you.
Yeah,
if you cared about the person.
Well, I probably would. I don't know. I mean, most people I care about them enough to try to save them from falling off a cliff.
Mm-hmm.
Even if they're the bad guy, I'd still want them to be tried in a court of law. I wouldn't want them to just fall to their death.
Yeah, you're like Captain America or something.
Yeah, everyone deserves a chance.
I think I don't know, I've never seen any Captain America thing, but that sounds like his...
Yeah, I've never seen that either. What other movies haven't you seen, Nathan?
You know what? Okay, here's one I really want to see. Oh, man, I can't remember the name of it. Okay.
Whoa. Not only have you not seen it, you don't even know what it's called. That is crazy.
Oh, man. It's a vampire movie. I love vampire movies.
Oh, is it the David Bowie one?
I think I've seen that one.
I've been hearing about it a lot lately, but I have not seen it. I think it's called The Hunger.
Yeah, they just played at the Roxy sometime this year.
Snap.
I think. Sometime this year.
Ugh, missed it.
Oh, Near Dark, I think, is the one that I was thinking
Near Dark?
I
haven't seen that.
It has the cast from Aliens, so Alien 2 in it, and they're just, they're kind of they're a fun group, I feel like.
Yeah, I don't think I've seen any of the Aliens.
Yeah, I try to get you to go to
Yep.
this latest one with me, but...
Yeah.
Okay. Can I change the subject?
Sure, yeah. Yep, this is a safe space. It's an open forum. And if anyone wants us to talk about anything, just call in 406-541-8966. We'll answer your questions.
Happily. We'd be honored.
Yep.
So, I just played a show with you a couple days ago, Sean.
Allegedly.
Allegedly. I've been seeing you do some stuff in between then and before this week.
Yeah.
You're such a creative person. I want to know,
Uh-oh.
how do you stay creative? Like, I know there's some ebb and flows here, some ups and downs, but is there like, have you read a book? Have you heard maybe some kind of religious higher being talk about something? I'm very inspired.
Oh. Well, how do I... I don't know. Most of what I do is just fulfilling obligations, in my day-to-day.
What?
Yeah.
Okay. Elaborate, please.
Well, we had to play a show. So I had to, remember how to play all that music in our band off in the woods.
Let's go.
Yeah, a lot of my so-called work is in the music. So I'm just doing what I have to do to
survive.
Yeah, well, I'm just focusing on the next thing all the time. I don't feel like I have enough just like free flowing, just like real, just open-ended creative time. And so when I get those pockets of time, then that faucet's just ready to turn on.
I see.
But that's only like a couple times a week I can just sit there and just really make up
Turn
fresh
on the
stuff.
faucet.
Yeah. Otherwise, it's that other zone of creativity where there's parameters and it's very fulfilling and fun, but it's still I know what I'm trying to make.
Okay.
And that's like teaching or practicing for the next gig, or even playing the show. That's very creative. And I usually play about a show a week,
Yeah, average.
Yeah.
At least 4 a month, I'm sure you do.
Yeah, somewhere in there.
Yeah, and then I think someone was showing us a video of you playing, and you were saying that it seems way more relaxed when you're...
Oh, that was when we were watching that footage of the group drum solo where, off in the woods, you'll be doing the drum solo. I get up, hit the toms. And I just remember, like, when I was watching the footage, it just seemed like so exciting and just like high energy, But I think when I'm actually inside my own body, when I'm playing the show, I don't want to have that high energy, anxious feeling take over. I want to be loose and calm.
Yeah.
So I'm always like trying to find zen. So it's just cool watching it back and being like, we were really rocking out. But during the show, I just kind of felt more calm.
And what do you...
Than it was perceived to me.
Yeah. I think that's a good thing.
Yeah.
How do you breathe when you're playing music?
A lot of times I forget. I don't. A lot of times I'll notice I haven't been breathing. But what I've been trying to, the 2 cues for myself to like get back in the zone.
Yeah.
A lot of times I'll be standing and I realize that my knees are locked. And I'm like, oh, you got to bend, especially when you're playing the bass.
Yeah.
And you're standing.
People won't see you
got
bounce.
so yeah, and then I start just swaying my hips.
Yeah.
And then I try to pull my shoulders back and not be as hunched, because I'm a pretty hunchy guy. But I try
Posture.
to just
Posture.
I try to just kind of. Then when I do those 2 things, I start breathing a little bit and just kind of transition from being like lost in the moment to kind of feeling more in control a little bit, just by like, actually paying attention to what my body's doing.
Yeah. Because it's doing a lot.
Yeah. But I feel like such a better bass player when I'm playing with Off in the Woods, because I know those songs so well. So there's so much muscle memory, and just like, so much of the music that I make outside of that band is like very improv,
Mhm.
or I don't know the songs very well. And I realize it turns out that if you know the music, you can actually play it well, which is
What a novel
pretty
concept.
yeah. So that's one of my favorite things about playing with Off in the Woods.
Can I give you a rec?
Yeah,
That means a
Wreck me.
recommendation.
Yeah.
There's a drummer, I think you might know him, Benny Greb.
I don't think I do.
He's from Deutschland.
Benny Greb from Deutschland, folks.
He's one of the best drummers in the game right now, and he's got some amazing books out, and I mean they're pretty much courses. And one of they're all drum bass, but I mean even the comedian Bill Burr.
Yeah.
Obviously, like he touts some of Benny Greb's work, and just for his working out comedy, and his methodology can be prescribed to so many situations, probably every one. But
Interesting.
the
the concepts kind of go across. It's not necessarily just drumming based.
I mean, that's how it's delivered, but it's so good that you could put it in so many contexts.
Right.
It's wonderful. But the thing maybe that's I thought the most unique to playing music on there was breathing. When you're playing drums, it's incredible what breathing will do to your drumming, and especially when you're playing fills. Like, make sure you breathe at a constant rate. I mean, it's really hard to get your breath at a certain beats per minute, but you can kind of like do some kind of relative thing. Basically, think of it as a polyrhythm or something. Will match up every once in a while.
Yeah.
I think that I just recommend you to see some of his stuff, because
Yeah.
it might take you to the next level, baby.
I could use another lev.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's interesting. Yeah. I definitely forget to breathe when I'm playing sometimes. Forget to think about it. But the idea of like whenever I try to do like breath work or stuff like that, when I'm breathing like to a specific rhythm, sometimes I get lightheaded. It makes me feel weird, but it's in a good way.
Yeah, I think the Wim Hof method,
Yeah.
you should get into that if you're getting the good way feelings.
Yeah. Do you ever, like, if you're sleeping next to someone, try to match their breathing?
It's one of the greatest joys in life.
I always feel like I'm gonna die whenever I try to do that. Just trying to try to like breathe at someone else's tempo. I
love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it's in a good way. I feel like I'm gonna die. That's what life is all about.
Yeah, you want to get close. Edging, they call it.
Yeah, and just like edging, the longer you wait before you die, the better.
Do you think that's what you're doing creatively, when you turn
Creatively?
Oh my God. Yeah, that word. When you turn on the full faucet.
What's the question?
Are you edging your creative process by doing all these tasks, or however you put it, and then when you get that free time, you're like, okay, now.
Yeah,
I'm not edging anymore. Now I'm releasing.
Yeah, I'd say so. And a lot of times when you just have like a blank slate, it's very easy to be kind of overwhelmed, and it's hard to,
parameters and limitations like inspire you too.
Yeah, big time. So I kind of just put those in place kind of naturally.
Yeah.
Because, these days there's no limits to what you can do. You have to make your own.
Oh, wow. Deep. Damn.
Oh, yeah.
Do I get effects, or is that just...
Sorry, it's only on my voice.
Right.
For now.
Okay.
We'll see.
I'll work my way up to it, maybe.
Yeah. So, Nathan, you heard any good songs lately?
Yeah, a lot, I would say.
What kind of music is inspiring you?
I think I'm getting really inspired by the hip hop that we were listening to growing up. I'm doing a lot of re-listens. Maybe
Okay,
even some
going
stuff I
back.
skipped over.
Yeah.
Didn't pay enough attention to it. But hip hop then just seems so like, I mean, positive for one thing, but it just seemed like it was gonna heal the world. I feel like, you know, it was gonna bring everybody together, and I love revisiting that time and being inspired by it.
Yeah. How do you think we would have turned out if we didn't have that older generation of hip hop people in Polson showing us all these artists?
I have no idea, man. I think I would have been a sad sack of something. Yeah, the hip hop, the funk. I mean, maybe we'd be country stars by now, though. Who knows?
Yeah, we could be a lot better off.
I don't believe it.
Yeah, I think growing up in Polson, you know, we had our crew, and then we had the crew of the older brothers and their friends,
Yeah.
and they just showed us the way, and we were just trying to be as cool as them.
I know.
And then we got older and turned out that they were just weirdos.
Yeah, they suck. No.
They're just
No, I love them.
yeah. They're the best.
Good people to learn from.
Have you noticed that a lot of people aren't as good if they don't stay tight with their friends from growing up like we have.
They don't have the covenant. Yeah, no, we're real lucky ducks. I've been kind of bragging about it a little bit lately, but yeah, I appreciate your friendship. I appreciate all of my, day ones, because we got so many. And
Yeah.
it's a beautiful thing, baby.
There's something to be said for just never leaving your hometown and just staying around.
Yeah.
Just not travel. Just hide in a hole. And just
Wait, who are you talking about? Shout out to y'all in P-Town, baby.
No, it's not about us.
What?
I'm just kidding.
You lived in towns.
That's true. But I don't know. Missoula is not far away enough from Polson to really count as moving away.
Tell that to them, man.
That's true. But yeah. But yeah, we're just lucky out here.
We're dang old lucky ducks, man.
And that's what whoever's listening to this show, they want to hear us bragging about how good we have it.
Just the down feathers we got from being them lucky ducks.
Yeah. We might as well be laying golden eggs out here.
Are you holding out on me? I haven't laid any down there.
Nope. No, totally.
Okay. What are you listening to that's cool lately?
I got to play a couple songs off that new Richard Cheese album.
Dang.
He did a cover of Damn It by Blink-182 on it. That was amazing.
Wow.
That was exciting. I've just been, speaking of going back and listening to the music from the past, I've been on a real bad Four Non Blondes kick.
Oh, yeah.
I've been, there's like, they played on this kind of like Austin City Limitsy kind of show.
Yeah, I've
not
seen
that,
this. Yeah.
but like a smaller studio type thing.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, when they were really young, they recorded a few songs in there and just sing them live when they're young. So amazing. And yeah, she just had so many great songs other than What's Up, which is the one that everybody knows.
Mm.
But yeah, I don't know. She's just one of those talents that is really underrated, I think, and hurt by being the one-hit wonder thing and having the one song
Overshadow.
blow up. Yeah. And she was kind of in a, same with Nirvana after Nevermind came out, just like wanting to decommercialize and and then she ended up just putting it all down, basically. She's like written a lot of songs since then, but
Is she alive
yeah,
still?
yeah.
Cool.
Linda Perry, she's the best.
Shout out. Yeah. You know what? Heart? The band Heart?
Yeah.
That's a lot of good songs.
Oh man, they ripped.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, Nathan, do you have anything else to tell the folks before we just kind of drift off into dreamland here?
I just want to say that was a beautiful August.
Oh man,
Raw as can be, and sometimes you gotta appreciate that. And we're getting into September right now, and I hope everybody gets the most out of this transitional equinox month.
yeah.
It's gonna be a wild ride, I'm sure.
It's hard to say goodbye to summer.
It is, but you know what's better than summer?
What, Nathan?
Fall.
Whoa, you think so?
Oh yeah.
I tend to agree.
You know the thing about fall? At first, falling feels like flying. And that's the best feeling.
So true.